text, it'll just show up on your page, and then I can click to get the comments.
Should show up. I think. Yep, we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Sunday Night Live. I am your host, Sarah from yakinwithsarah, and tonight we have another female co-host. How great is that? Go ahead and introduce yourself. I'm trying to share this on all my other social medias.
Hi guys, I'm Tracy, and I am, is it working?
Yep, it's working.
Okay, and I run the Old Lady Angler YouTube channel. You can call me Tracy, TJ, Ola, any of them.
As long as it's not late for dinner, right?
That's correct.
So give them a back of the book explanation of your YouTube channel. What's your channel all about?
It's 99.9% bass fishing. Occasionally I'll get out on saltwater and a little bit of pan fishing, but it's all about the bass.
Okay. Some early bird shout outs: Jaw Fishing, Virginia Fisherman, Country Girl Fishing, James, Lena, Catfish Bill 66. How are all of you doing? James Dockery. Yes, if any of you missed it, Tiffany posted a video this week where she had a treble hook stuck all the way through her finger, and ouch, that had hurt. So yeah, Joe Buck 66, Gary, how are all of you doing? Go ahead and start sending your questions in for this lady right here, and I'm going to start it off with some of my questions, and I'll jump into some of yours. So let's just start it off with, why do you fish?
Just recreation. I have a lot of time on my hands, and it's a good stress reliever and good exercise.
Okay. Was there any specific person that taught you to fish?
Yeah, my dad used to take us probably every weekend we were kids. We'd go catfishing.
Yeah. I think that's about how everybody kind of starts off, with a bobber and arm on the end of the hook. Was there a certain point of in your life that fishing just kind of really took off and it became really important to you?
Yeah, it's shortly after I moved here to Florida. I retired in 2016 and started off, like I said, saltwater fishing at first, chasing redfish and trout in my kayak. And I was a little bit afraid to get in the freshwater because of the alligators, but I pretty much did it for convenience. I wanted to fish closer to the house. So I overcame that fear and got out there, and then the rest is history. Once I caught my first bass, I was like in love with it.
From the chat, Tiffany wants to know, how are the arms after the reservoir?
You know what? They were not sore. I thought my shoulders were going to be killing me, but they're good. So I like it.
There you go. Jaw Fishing wanted to know, do you know what works well with spotted gar?
Ooh, as far as bait?
Yep.
I'd say just about anything, but I've never caught one.
Okay. All right. Speaking of alligators, what are some safety tips for your fishing? First off, tell everybody where you're at, where you're fishing.
I'm in Central Florida in Volusia County, basically about 25 miles north of Orlando. So I have the entire Orlando metro to fish, and there are tons of lakes there. So I'm right in the heart of Florida.
All right. And what are some fishing tips or safety tips that you have for fishing your area? Because I know a lot of folks go on vacation there.
For the alligator, seriously, you're allowed to carry a weapon when you fish. So in the freshwater, I don't fish without it.
And that's the same laws here in South Carolina. As long as we are headed to our fishing spots on the water, or headed from our fishing spots, we are allowed to open carry without a concealed weapon permit. Same
here. And other than, carrying a weapon and being prepared, it's a matter of don't put yourself in a really narrow passage where if an alligator should pop up, you want to make sure he has room to go around, because they will go around. But if you have them blocked or cornered, then they might just go right under your kayak, and that could be trouble. So give them plenty of room.
Someone asked, have you ever caught a gator? And I'm going to pop up a picture that you sent me right here. You want to tell them about this?
Yeah, I was over at Hillsborough River State Park, close to Tampa, fishing a topwater Super Spook Junior, and the alligator came shooting out of the brush, just latched onto that lure, and I had 50-pound braid on, so I brought him in, and right as soon as his feet could touch the beach, he put on the brakes, and he was just basically standing up, and there happened to be the manager of the Rangers was within shouting distance, and somebody heard the alligator splash in, and so they came running and took a look over and said, "Hey, we need help." And he came down and took it off the hook. But that was his first gator handling of his life, so
how did they
he was
take
kind
that
of
off?
excited. Well, the ranger pinned the gator down, then he grabbed it by the snout and the tail, and then they carried it up away from the water just in case the mother was around.
Gotcha.
And they got pliers. They tried to pry the jaws open, and they broke my pliers on it. We ended up cutting the hook, so the baby gator had maybe a millimeter of hook in his tongue, and then he threw him in.
Awesome. That's definitely not one I have never had to experience yet. Is that the only one you've ever caught like that?
Yeah, I did hook another one in Lake Harris, but that was on a hollow body frog, and he ended up spitting it out, or it came loose, thank goodness. It was a bigger gator.
Were you in the kayak?
No, I was bank fishing both times.
Okay.
No, I don't ever want to catch one while I'm in the kayak. Oh, no.
So I've got someone in the chat right now that I wanted to talk about. Kentucky Catman is watching this live stream from the hospital right now. For any of you that are not subscribed to his channel, he was live a couple of days ago on the water and had a heart attack while he was live.
Oh, no.
So,
oh, my.
He is doing better right now. Last I heard, Jim, I believe you're doing a little bit better. I believe they're doing a little bit more work on you. From what I've heard from a couple of folks, I haven't spoken to him myself except for once. So just any prayers and happy thoughts you want to send his way, I'm sure he would appreciate it. Him and his daughter, K-Bug Clark, are loyal subscribers and always tune into the show. So I'm sure they'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's tell everybody about your kayak. Because I'm not going to say a lot. You're probably 50-50 between bank fishing and kayak fishing, but you're leaning more towards the kayak fishing side of your channel. What kayak are you in? Let me pull up that picture as well. There we go.
I'm in a native watercraft. It's the Slayer Propel 10. It's a 10-foot.
Are there any cons to that kayak that you have?
Are there any what?
Cons? Negative things?
I don't think there are.
Okay.
Not really.
As far as your choices, what made this kayak stand out to you more than some of the others?
Well, number one, without a doubt, is the weight of it. I take that drive out, and my hull is 59 pounds. Wow. I needed something that I could load by myself on a car top. And, I'm old, and I have rheumatoid arthritis, so, it limits me. And the weight on that thing is primo. I paddled a Hobie, I think it was a Mirage Sport, at the same time that I did the native, and the native was just more comfortable on my knees to paddle.
We're going to jump right back into the kayak fishing for just a second because James wants to know, do you fish any of the panhandle in Florida? If so, is there any place that's better than the next?
The only fishing I've done up in the panhandle is saltwater, and I did that at St. Joseph Peninsula. Fantastic time. I had such a good time. It's actually, you have the Gulf on one side, you have the campground, and then you have the bay, and premium fishing on both sides, but no fresh water there. So,
all right. Back to the kayak. So 59 pounds, and that's That's very light for a sit on top kayak.
Oh, and it's huge. It's wide. It's 35 inches wide, so I can stand up and fish. Very stable.
Johnny wanted to know, have you ever done the chicken dance in it?
Yes.
There you go. I think that's the test for everybody. I know that was my test when I was doing all the demos and all the kayaks I did.
Yep.
So it's got the pedal drive.
Yep.
What was the price point, do you remember, for that kayak?
Those retail for I think it's $2,400, but I got mine at the end of the season. It was brand new, and I got $400 off of that.
Oh, that's great.
So I've had it almost 2 years. Next month will be 2 years.
Any too much? I mean, how's it holding up?
Well, glad you asked that, because the pedal drive has a known defect, and mine actually cracked on it's the fitting where the thwart tube goes through, and it's just the way they designed it, and it cracked. So that was about, probably 4 or 5 months ago that happened. And I took the drive back up to where I bought it from, which was in Jacksonville. They sent it off, and Native had me a brand new, upgraded, brand spanking new drive within 4 days. I was back on the water.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's a different design, so we'll see. It should hold up, but time will tell.
Yeah. The Wyatt Life says he loves your channel. Have you ever flipped your kayak while fishing?
Never. And I used to have a cheaper, narrower. I had a little Walmart special for about the first, I think, year or 8 months, and nah, never even close.
That's the same thing with me. I hear all these stories about people flipping their kayaks, and to me, I don't get it. I've never been in a situation where I felt uncomfortable in my kayak.
I wonder what they're doing.
I don't know. And I mean, I had a little Pelican for almost 2 years, right at 2 years, and I fished. Most of you guys probably don't know, but Lake Jocassee. I fished Lake Jocassee on a stormy day, and that is known. It's in the middle of 2 mountains. So when a storm comes up, when a storm comes up, you just don't know it, and it's just ridiculous when that happens. And I never had any issues with it. So
yeah, I don't know how that happens.
I don't know. But maybe some of you guys in the chat can answer that if any of you have stability issues with your kayaks. Someone asked how many subscribers we have. I think you're sitting right over 1,400 now. Yeah,
I think I looked. It was about 1,415.
You have had a huge boost. You are growing like crazy.
I've been fishing a lot.
Yeah. How many days a week are you going fishing now?
About 5. Sometimes I've done 6 and 7 around the tournaments, trying to, get in those last few inches.
Okay, speaking of tournaments, tell everybody the tournaments that you're in and maybe how they could get involved in them as well.
Well, I started doing the Lucky Tackle Box tournaments that started January of this year. And I've done all of them except the 1 month I couldn't do because I was out of the country. But $5 entry fee, and I'm not sponsored by Lucky Tackle Box. The tournaments are really fun. $5 entry fee. You can fish from the bank, from a boat, from a kayak, any way you want to fish, with the hook, obviously. But yeah, and it's just a lot of fun.
Do you have to be subscribed? I mean, do you have to have an active subscription?
No, it's open to everyone.
That's awesome.
And it runs every month from the 15th through the last day of the month. And you can sign up on the first day. You can sign up on the last day if you want.
Very cool. That's very cool. I'm going to break off here for a second and talk about something that we've got going on my side of things. And that is another tournament, the Trash Collectors Tournament. And I know for any of you that are subscribed to me, you've heard me talk about this. I've been talking about it for probably 3 to 4 weeks now. We are 15 days into the tournament, and I'm excited to say we are at yesterday's count was 460 pounds collected. After today, we're about at 500 pounds collected with pictures. That's with pictures. On top of that, There's been 15 bags collected that were not weighed. So you have to know that we are way over that 500-pound mark, which would put us about halfway through my goal this year.
Awesome.
That's huge, and it makes me feel good because it makes me feel like we're doing something. So thank you for everybody that's been participating in that. I know the Wyatt Life is in there. Jeremy has been working hard. A guy named Scott. I wish I had my app up right now. I just shout out several folks' names that have been in it. And if you guys are not familiar with the Drop Hook Fishing app, that's where the tournament is being held. If you don't feel comfortable getting the app, or if you don't know how to work the app, you can send your pictures directly to me and I'll enter them for you. So I'm trying to give everybody as many chances to enter this as they possibly can, because there's over $1,000 worth of prizes, and it's big, and there's been a lot of companies come forward and really support this. Mud Bum Supply Shack, Hook Setters, Boneheads, Chris Flores really helped push this. Steve Douglas, I'm missing so many right now. Sportsman Warehouse, and just several others. I'm sorry if whoever else I missed. I'm sure I got you in the last video. But yeah, just remember that tournament is still active. You have until the end of July, the last day of July, to enter that. And it's going to be coming back at you every single year, because I think this is really, really important. All right, back to fishing. Back to what we're here for. So in your area, we talked about the gators being a problem. Do you have any other recommendations for bank fishermen?
There's just so many places to bank fish here. In Orlando, I'm having trouble with this ear thing. In Orlando, they have a program called the Fab Five, and it's actually 5 lakes that they've groomed for bass fisheries, and 3 of those 5 have excellent bank fishing opportunities. And other than that, I would say probably getting on Google Earth and scoping out places is going to be your best bet.
For someone that's going there on vacation, do you have any spots that they could just go right to and have a good
That's
chance?
where I would say, in fact, someone has actually sent me messages that's coming down here on vacation. And the Fab 5 lake things, I would look those up on the Florida FWC webpage.
Okay.
Just look up Fab 5, Orlando Fab 5.
And those should pop right out for them.
Yep.
Okay, good to know. Let's see. Trying to make sure I'm not missing anything in the comments.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch them too.
Everybody
go
likes,
fast.
Everybody likes to talk to themselves a little bit.
There's some gossip going on in there.
Yeah, I see that. That's all right. So you primarily bass fish, and that's kind of what your channel is all about. But you also do some snapper, striper, redfish.
Mainly the saltwater I did was over, I don't know if you're familiar with the Mosquito Lagoon here in Central Florida on the coast. Fantastic place. And that's, like I said, that's where I started my kayak fishing, was over there in the Mosquito Lagoon. I caught, the first redfish I caught was kind of by accident, and I caught it off the dock at my cousin's place. And that drag just, and I thought, man, what is that? And it ended up being a 23-inch redfish. And from there, I was like, ooh, I got to hunt these down. Of course, you get on the internet, find out what kind of bait, where to go. And I was out there chasing redfish 2 or 3 times a week. And at that time, I was working in Dallas. So I was flying back and forth every week. I lived here and worked there. I'd spend 3 days in Dallas, 4 days at home. Then, so yeah, on my 4 days, I'd go fishing here, then back to Dallas for work. It was crazy.
I bet. I posted up the personal best redfish that's in one of your kayaks.
Yep.
And
that's the old kayak.
Yeah, that looks like it would be a fight. I mean,
oh my gosh, those things are so strong.
I believe it. That's one fish I've never caught. It's on the bucket list. Maybe next year. We'll see how things go. The Wyatt Life asked, let me see if I can find it. Can you tell us a little bit about what you did for a living before you retired? It sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was aircraft maintenance supervisor, and my last gig was with Southwest Airlines, my last 6 years of employment. Basically, I ran a crew. Well, at Southwest, it's hard to describe my job. We have the overhauls for the aircraft that come in for overhauls, and I would plan out the work that needed to be accomplished each day, and I would hand it over to another supervisor who would then assign it to his mechanics, and they would do the work. And I would report the progress and any problems that we had. Next day you come in, give them the next day's worth of work. Before that, I worked at a place called NetJets. It's just a little luxury jet private ownership company. And before that, I was with Delta Airlines for many years as a maintenance supervisor, and there I actually ran the crew. Had a crew of 40 mechanics and some cleaners and other people. And I got started in the Air Force, so that's where I learned my aircraft maintenance.
Very cool. It's always fun to hear people's backstories of, why they are what they are, and,
Yeah.
It plays a big part on everybody, I think, at least. And,
Yeah.
let's see. Country Girl Fishing wants to know, what is your biggest saltwater fish that you've ever caught?
The redfish, that 28-inch redfish. Yeah, that has to be it. Trying to think back many years ago when I was in the military, I lived here in Central Florida, actually over on the coast at Patrick Air Force Base. And I did some fishing there, but just a few trips on the deep sea fishing. But yeah, that redfish was the biggest one. 28 inches, he was maybe 7.5 pounds, but fought for a good 15 minutes. I mean, I would reel him in, he would take it right back out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anything else. Muddy River Catfishing wants to know if there's any flathead catfish in your area.
I don't know my species of catfish, so all I know are the saltwater cats that you catch out there in the lagoon and the sail cats.
Gotcha. Let's see. Alright. I'm going to go back to my questions. I know this already, but what is your favorite species to catch, and why is that your favorite species to catch?
Now it has to be bass, but like I said, I didn't start out bass, but I love catching bass because on any given day, they're in a different mood and they want a different bait or they want a different presentation, and you just never know till you get out there and start throwing, what you're up against. It changes every single day.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun fish to catch.
Love it.
Yeah. As far as growing up, you said that you did a lot of catfishing, basic, what your parents taught you growing up, bobber and a worm. And was there any just insane catches that you could remember when you were younger?
No, it was all bullhead catfish, pretty much. That and a few carp, and it just standard river fish.
So you do know your species a little bit. You know what a bullhead is.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wyatt Life. Sarah, I did a live stream today while I was picking up trash. I think I might start doing it once a week. That is awesome. Speaking of picking up trash after work and all that, I went after work and I spent 10 minutes and picked up 5 pounds of trash the other day in 10 minutes. So keep that in mind for all of you that don't think you have a lot of time on your hands. I passed by 3 bridges on the way home, and so I have plenty of opportunity to stop for 10 minutes and pick up a few things. So just remember that. Let's see. Sarah, what is her PB, and what is the most weight fish did you catch? Mine would be the 8-pound-ish bass. I didn't get an exact weight on it, but everybody agrees that it was around 8 pounds. Her PB,
Wow.
I'm going to post it.
Mine's nowhere near that, but I'm trying.
Let me post hers. Oh, maybe.
My ultimate goal is a double digit.
That would be awesome. I've got yours
Yeah.
posted up. Go ahead and tell them what yours was.
6 pounds, 12 ounces on an itty bitty Ned rig, itty bitty mushroom head jig.
That's crazy.
It is.
I mean, everybody says go bigger. Bigger's better, right? I don't know. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw up your second PB.
There's a question, what's my favorite lure? It has to be the Rapala shallow shad wrap. I love that lure. It's fun to catch the fish on it. It works 90% of the time. Great lure. Good action.
What was that again?
It's the Rapala, my favorite lure, Rapala shallow shad wrap.
Very cool. Shallow shad wrap. This is your second for PB.
Yeah, it was 1 ounce shy of my PB.
1 ounce shy. I think you had that on video, I believe. I think I remember that one.
I just had the release on video for that one.
Yeah.
The GoPro screwed up.
Yeah. Would you do collabs with other YouTubers, or do you like to fish solo?
I love fishing by myself, but I'm more than happy to do a collab. I've done one collab with Florida Fish Hunter. He's actually almost a neighbor here in my city. So we went down to the Fellsmere Marsh together, and then we fished one of our local lakes together. So heck yeah, I'd love to do collabs.
Yeah, that's I went out with Dieter about 3 weeks ago now. It's been a little bit, and I have had so much fun. I had so much fun on the boat with him that day, and I got to go out and I got to meet Anthony Horton Fishing. Got to meet Bryce from Outdoors Weekly, and it's a lot of fun. You know, a lot of times being a YouTuber, I know for me, a lot of times my mind is always on that, you know, always on videos, always on editing, you know, what's the next thing? And to have people to sit around and talk about that with is fun.
Someone that understands.
Yes, exactly. Someone that's just not like, you know, my husband. He doesn't get it. So yeah, I think collabs are great. Question for Ola. How old is the YouTube channel, and is she happy with its growth?
I actually started it in 2006, believe it or not, and it was just something for, I would put vacation videos on there so I could share them with my family. And the fishing didn't come in until I actually moved to Florida and started fishing. And basically I put those on there for my sister who lives up in Illinois. She's a big bass fisherman. So we're always talking fishing, and she loves to watch videos. So I was doing it so she could see. And then next thing you know, I've got other people asking questions and comments on it. So I just let it go. And yeah, I'm super happy with the growth. It's exciting. It's fun to be out fishing and have someone go, "Hey, I know you."
That's very cool. At what point did you really focus on your YouTube channel?
Really? Let's see.
As far as saying, "Hey, I'm actually going to do this and put out content."
Last year. I mean, I had been fishing for 6 months, and believe it or not, it took me like 4 or 5 months to even catch a bass once I moved here. And I mean, I was out there 3 and 4 times a week.
Wow.
And I caught nothing. And I'm like, what the heck is wrong with me? And once I got that first bass, then it just clicked.
And so yes, something out.
Yeah. So last year about January, I said, you know what? I'm gonna make this a thing, and I'm gonna go for it. So basically a year and a half.
Mega House Fishing. I think you're going about it the wrong way. He said, I'm trying so hard to get 1K subs. I'm so close, then I can focus on content. I think
Should be the other way around.
Yeah, you need to worry about your content right now and worry less about your numbers, because I'm going to tell you it's going to be a lot harder. I'm assuming you're meaning because you want to get monetized. It's going to be a lot harder to get your watch hours than it is to get numbers. And if what you're doing is a sub for sub type thing, then that's really not what you want to go for, because YouTube's
they
going to
won't
see
watch.
that. Yeah, YouTube. First off, YouTube's going to see that you have 2,000 subscribers, 3,000 subscribers, and that you only have 1,000 hours of watch time, and they're going to say, hey, something's going on here, and the sub for sub thing is against their policies. On top of that, the whole trying to get as many subs as possible, most of your watch time does not come from subscribers, unfortunately. While I have a great subscriber base, and I really appreciate all of you, the guys that come in the chat every single week, as far as my weekly videos, I don't know if it's the same for you, but for me, the percentage is really low for the subscriber views.
It's like 30% subscribed and 69% not subscribed.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just my recommendation to you.
I agree with that 100%.
Okay, yeah. The Wyatt Life, his son Ryder is watching right now. He wants us to say hey to him. Hey Ryder, how's it going?
Hi Ryder.
Ryder, you and your dad are in Catch of the Week this week. Now I'm about to put that up as well. Good job saving that koi last week. That's awesome. Be nice to your new little brother. Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anything else.
Thank you, Country Girl Fishing.
Alright. So this is the point of the show where I feature all of you fantastic subscribers that send me pictures of your catches. So I am going to throw those up, doing a little bit different. Of course, all of your channels are linked in the description below. Old Lady Anglers channel is linked in the description below as well, so make sure you're checking her channel out also. Let me get Catch of the Week up. Boom. And Catch of the Week. No fish too small, no wrong species. I just want to see you out there catching fish. First up, we've got K&B Anglers. This is his PB for the smallest bass he's ever caught. Congrats to you. That's quite an achievement, I've got to say. Definitely small. Kentucky Catman is in the chat once again. Send your happy thoughts to him while he is in the hospital. If you haven't seen his latest video, go check it out. He'll explain everything there with a solid cat here out night fishing. Congrats. Then we got Lena Hardwick, blue cat, caught at Triple Creek in Cincinnati. That's fantastic. Beautiful fish. Gorgeous. Awesome. My favorite part of the show. This is what it's all about. This is what the kids come in and we show them how it's done. We've got Ryder from the Wyatt Life and Jake saving a koi trapped that was able to escape the pond. So thank you guys for doing that. Good job. Then we've got Dalton with a perch, and as soon as he caught this, he said, make sure you send this in to Yakin with Sarah. He's a big fan, and I really appreciate you, Dalton. You are awesome, and that is an awesome fish. Congrats. That's a big deal. Emily, 6 years old, with a panfish off the dock. Congrats to you. Gorgeous fish. That's amazing. You did a great job there. Fantastic. Good job. Then we've got K-Bug Clark. She's been taking care of her dad this week. She's going to be a big part of the next generation of fishing. She's going to do big things. I can sense it, guys. Next up, we've got Rosie. This is her first bluegill at 9 months old. I think she had a little bit of help with that one, but that's all right. Showing her how it's done, even at that age. Taking your kids out. Fantastic, guys. Then a special one for me, my daughter. Caught this all by herself, reeled it in all by herself, got it up, posing for the picture here. Annabelle, great job, as always. And that is it for Catch of the Week. Remember, you guys can send these in every week to yakinwithsarah@gmail.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram. I'll accept it from everywhere. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Yep. Annabelle with her little catch there. We were out catching bait for our next catfishing trip, actually. So yeah, catch of the week every week. I think we're on episode like 16 or 16 weeks in with this little thing I've had going on. And it's just a way that I can thank you guys for watching the channel. Thank you guys for supporting me. Because, I mean, you guys are just amazing. It's as simple as that. You guys, with your great comments, all the thumbs up you give, and just the questions you have for me, I really appreciate it. I mean, every now and again I'll get a comment, and it's just like, wow, someone spent the time to say all that. It's crazy. So you mentioned that you started YouTube for your family and all that. What made you really reach into YouTube? What made you say, I'm gonna do this, and why?
I think probably getting comments from people that actually saw my channel, just saying I inspired them, and I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah, that's it's pretty amazing some of the comments you get, even as a smaller YouTuber like us. Is most of the comments you get is great video, good catch, big fish, whatever it is, fist, lit, whatever. Whatever they send in. And
yeah,
but every now and again you'll get those comments that take you off guard, and it's just someone took the time to say that. That's great.
Like today I got one. The gentleman said that he had his wife watch one of my videos with him today. He's been watching them regularly, and he thanked me and said she was ready to get back out and start fishing again because she had kind of put it on the wayside and hadn't fished in a while, and it got her motivated. So I love that.
That's awesome. Emma the Gang asks, how did Old Lady Angler get into fishing? Did you ask that already? If so, you can go back, but I'll let you go ahead and answer that again. I think we went over it a little bit.
Yeah, just originally through my father and with my brothers and sisters, and then once I came here to Florida, just living so close to the ocean, and my cousin lives pretty close to me, and he loves fishing, so I went over there and fished a lot with him when I first got here, basically off of his dock, saltwater fishing.
Very cool. Dieter wants to know, what are your fishing plans the next few weeks of summer? Where and what are you targeting?
Well, it's bass, no surprise there, and I'm continuing to do those tournaments that are the last 2 weeks of every month. So I'll be out in the kayak hitting the freshwater, and I've got that double-digit dream up in here that I've been trying to work on all year, that 10-pound bass. So I'm studying, looking for new places to fish. I'm always looking for new waters, and like I said, there's plenty of lakes around here. It's a matter of how do you sneak in, or how do you get your kayak in there. So it's all fun, studying and preparing. But yeah, I'll be hitting the bass tournament stuff, so it's busy.
It's let's see. She goes out, guys, probably more than most of us. You're out there sometimes 6 times a week.
Yeah,
and
usually about 4 to 5. But like I said, if I'm falling behind in a tournament, I'll be out there 7 days.
Yeah, that's. What's the highest you've placed in one of those Lucky Tackle Box tournaments?
This past June,
okay.
That 13th out of 158.
What is your typical week of fishing like?
As far as how many times, or it's.
Do you go out in the mornings, or?
Oh yeah. I always hit first light. I like to actually be in my position before the sun comes up. And I know I should start going in the evenings, but I'm a morning person. So I don't even have coffee or barely have breakfast. I'm up, loading, and gone.
How difficult you go out by yourself the majority of the time, just like I do.
Yep.
How difficult is it to load and offload the kayak by yourself?
Mine's no problem, and I used to car top that dang thing before I got a pickup truck, but I got a truck and I just dropped the tailgate, pick the nose up, set it on the tailgate, and then push.
Yep.
And that's it.
That's what
Tie
I do.
it down and we're good to go.
I do that for my rooftop of the car too.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw your video.
Yeah, that's about as simple. I know a lot of people had that question when I bought my heavy kayak, and they were like, "How are you going to do that?" It's
Oh, it can be done.
It's 60 whatever pounds, and like, well, it's not that bad really. It's you just sit it on there. You can tie it to the end so it doesn't slip out, and you just push it up, and it's as easy as that.
When I did the car topping of my Slayer here, I would actually, instead of going from the back of the car, I would bring it from the side door, the passenger side. I would lay it and then pick up the front and put it on, then push it up and pivot it.
That's pretty smart, yeah.
Yeah, and then tie it down. And it was, I could do it alone.
Yeah. Wyatt Life wants to know, have you ever fished with live crawfish for bass? It is one of my favorite bass baits.
Nope, I've never, trying to recall. No, I always use lures for bass. I've used shrimp over in the saltwater, but yeah, bass is always lures.
Tiffany, you would not bust a blood vessel loading a big old kayak. First off, you have a truck. Second off, it's not that bad. 5 days a week fishing. She is my long lost twin. Yes, Dieter, definitely. She's probably out there as much as you. Different species, but it's probably out there as much as you. Kayak fishing is so fun. So glad to see some wonderful ladies fishing. How do you?
Yes, it is fun.
I mean, there's not too many female personalities fishing in the YouTube world. I mean, as far as the ratio goes. I know on my male to female ratio for viewers is like 99.99 to 0.01. How do you feel being a female angler on YouTube? I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't really have feelings one way or the other. I just want to catch fish.
She can fish with me anytime. I can tell her to be there an hour before sunrise and not have to wait. I don't think you had to wait for me either, Dieter. I was there early that morning, and I had a 3-hour drive.
Wow.
Yeah, I was devoted to that trip.
Wow.
Do you ever shiner fish?
I tried it one time, and not for me. I didn't care for it.
Okay.
I didn't know what I was doing anyway, and
let's see. Let's talk for a minute about, you had a big trip this year, and it kind of put a hold on your YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
You were able to post a short video here and there, but tell everybody where you went.
I took almost 7 weeks and went to Australia and New Zealand. Fantastic places.
And me,
wonderful people.
I'm just over here looking at her Instagram and living vicariously through her every time she's posting something.
Everything was a postcard over there, and I don't know if you're familiar with Tasmania, but that was my favorite part of Australia.
Yes, that's crazy. Did you see anything? I mean, I know you saw koalas and all that. I saw those little clips. Did you see anything crazy over there?
No, not so much. It was what you would expect as far as animals and.
Very cool. I'm gonna post. I think I have a picture of you diving.
Oh yeah, the Great Barrier Reef. Yeah.
So
that was a bucket list thing.
You got to swim with sea turtles, and along with several other fish, I'm guessing, and
Yep.
How beautiful is
And
that?
reef sharks.
That's awesome. That's super cool. I know you said I commented on something that you put, and you said, "Well, you have to do it one day," and I was like, "Well, maybe one day."
It was a long trip and a long flight. Oh my gosh.
That's how many flights were you on between the two?
I flew Orlando to Chicago to Los Angeles to Sydney to Alice Springs to Uluru, back to Alice Springs to Melbourne to Tasmania to Brisbane, back to Sydney, then got on a ship and went all the way up the coast, then came back to Brisbane, went back down to Sydney, flew, then got on another ship, sailed across the Tasman Sea, went all the way around New Zealand with 7 different stops, and then sailed back to Sydney, spent the night, and then flew home. A lot of flights. We had 4 interior on Qantas and then the to and from on the American carriers.
That is insane. That's a lot of traveling.
Yep, it sure was.
Along with that, you've also been fishing in Alaska for halibut, correct?
Yeah, that was another bucket list. That was awesome.
There's a picture of her fishing in Alaska there.
That was in Homer.
Wow. How was that a guided fishing?
Yes.
How did that go as a guided trip? I mean,
it was good, but you could only keep 2 fish per person. So I kept the fish that I caught and then had it prepared, and they quick freeze it, and then they ship it back here. Once I left Alaska, then they shipped it back to me. But I don't eat fish, so once I got it, then I distributed it to the family and friends, and they cooked it and ate it and said it was wonderful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wyatt said he was watching those videos also and living vicariously through you.
If you guys have an opportunity, seriously, go to Australia.
You make my younger years of traveling look like I was standing still. Someone said you're their hero, and it's funny you say that because a lot of times I talk about you in other chats and I tell folks about your channel, and
I appreciate that.
I'm just like, you know what? I want to grow up and be just like this lady when I get older. That's just, I mean, how cool does it get to go out fishing 6 times a week and, have that time, be able to have that time?
I'm going to tell you right now, prepare young for your retirement, and you can do it.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Get a great job with, I'm assuming, a great 401k and retirement plan, and really work towards that.
Work hard and then relax when you can.
That's right. I'm sure your younger years were very busy, and you did a lot of work towards getting to where you are now.
Yep, but you know what? That 32 years went like that.
Yeah. Your video production is for the birds. I'm on American Airlines website right now. Let's see. Any other questions you guys have for Old Lady Angler here? I asked what your PBs were, your favorite species to catch. Do you have anything that you wish you could change about YouTube? Any negatives about? Do you have anything negative about your YouTube channel? What you wish was different? Besides the fact,
I don't think so. I think it's exactly what I thought it would be, and even more fun than I thought it would be.
You do a lot of really good edits on your channel, and I think
that's the fun part. I think I really love editing.
And I've got a lot of folks out there that they can't stand editing for whatever reason. And if you love fishing and you hate editing and you want to be on YouTube, you're eventually going to have someone edit your own videos. Or
Yep.
you love editing and you can do it yourself. It's one of those things that if you don't love both of them, I feel like you're really going to get burnt out at some point.
Yeah.
What editing program do you use?
Adobe Premiere Pro.
How long did it take you to learn how to use it?
Oh, wow. I learned it probably back on CS4 version. I don't know, 10 years ago.
Okay.
And it really hasn't changed. It's gotten better and more features, but the basic layout and everything is still the same. And I think it's pretty easy to use. But I'm not a power user. I probably use this much of what it's capable of.
Deidre said Ola is one more channel that will eventually kick my tail once everyone catches on to her. Hopefully one of my YouTube friends will at least need a cameraman. That's his day job. He's a cameraman for NASCAR and things. He's got a cool job.
Yeah, it's a very cool job.
How much time do you spend editing your videos?
Sometimes 4 hours. Like the Fellsmere ones down in the marsh, they take a long time. When I get those extra camera angles, it just adds twice as much work.
You answered this in one of your last videos. How many cameras do you have out with you?
I have the chest mount, which, like I said, is basically to capture my audio. And then I have the camera on this side behind me. And then right now I just have 3. I have the little one on a stick that I stick underwater when I release the fish. But I am going to add that front camera.
Yeah, I thought that was a good angle for the last one of the
Yeah,
last
it looks
videos.
cool.
Yeah.
But then some people said, no, you missed the cast and the actual strike, because the chest camera doesn't always get it if I'm leaning.
Yeah.
It's facing down. But yeah, that rear camera gets the whole strike, cast, everything. So I think I need an additional instead of just swapping the angle.
What type of cameras do you use?
They're all GoPros. I have a GoPro 5, a 6, and then I have the 5 Session, the little cube one.
Do you think you'll try the new one, was it $200, the GoPro Hero?
No, because I like the 6. I like the 4K and the high frame rate. In case you want to do good smooth slow motion, you need that high frame rate.
Okay. Tiffany said she thinks your release videos are really cool.
Yeah, I like those, especially in that clear water. That's pretty cool. Thank you.
How many areas do you have around there that have the clear water? I know you were in a spot the other day that didn't have clear water.
Yeah, it's I really don't have any gin clear water that I fish on a regular basis, but most of it you can see the fish in.
Okay. Dewey wants to know, do you have any advice for other YouTubers?
Well, probably what you've already talked about. Don't start your channel with monetization in mind. Do it because you love what you're doing, basically. And the subs and the money will come later.
Yeah, for like I mentioned earlier about numbers and things like that, I mean, you get that in your mindset and you want to be better and you want to be this big, fishing YouTuber. You want to have 100,000 or 200,000 subscribers like a lot of the guys do on the Guggen Squad and whatnot. You want to be cool like them, but
those are rare.
Not everybody can be the Guggen Squad. Remember that. And you probably don't want to be the Guggen Squad most days. Just remember that. Depending, everybody has their own personality, and that's the big thing is developing your YouTube personality.
Right.
It's hard to be as happy as you are on YouTube every single day. And just remember that you just work hard on that. Work hard on your channel and the quality of your videos, and put content out that you think you will enjoy. Because most of the time, if you enjoy it and you can sit there and watch a full video twice, chances are someone else will be also.
Right.
That's my key thing when I make a video is I try and watch it twice, and if I can sit there and not get bored with it at all twice, I'm okay with putting that out there.
I like to capture the excitement.
Yeah, you do a really good job with those slow-mos. I think those are really cool. Anytime that something breaks water, you've got it.
Yeah.
You've got it right there. Those are awesome. I need to start hating on her. I got a lot of reasons to hate on her. She fishes 5 days a week, travels all over. She'll have 100,000 subs in a year.
Wait, who said I gotta block them?
And she's skinny. There you go. I told you, Dieter comes at you with the hard questions.
Okay, Dieter, I hear you.
No, Dieter's a great guy and a great friend to have in this YouTube community. He's if any of you guys don't know him and haven't seen his channel, he's really awesome and his channel is really great. He's got a great storytelling he does behind his videos, and every once in a while he makes it down to Florida and does some shark fishing. So that's what he focuses on, is catfishing and shark fishing. So
I wouldn't mind trying shark fishing.
There you go. He actually takes his own boat out there, and him and his son went out there this past trip and caught a couple of decent-sized shark. So that was pretty cool.
Awesome.
Dieter said he really wants to fish with you now.
Let's go, Dieter. Let's go.
Let's see. I think that's it. We got about 5 minutes left on the show that I'm seeing. Yep. Okay, Brooks wants to know where everybody is from, so if everybody wants to put that in the chat. I am from South Carolina. She is from Florida.
I'm originally from Illinois.
Originally from Illinois. There you go, folks. I think we've got a lot of YouTubers, especially the ones that are around 1,000 subscriber mark to 2,000 subscriber mark, that are around the North Carolina area. I think that's crazy that there are so many people, because I know a lot that are in the North Carolina area. I wonder what's in their water up there that makes them do this. Is there any questions that you have me before we start wrapping this up?
You talking to me?
Yep, talking to you. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, when are we going to do a collaboration?
Let's see. We can make that happen probably in the next couple of months if you wanted to.
I'm in.
Let me work out some dates with my hubby, and we'll get that on the calendar. Maybe we can even do a Sunday night.
I want to fish. I want to fish with Heather too.
All right, so Heather, you come to South Carolina and you jump in the car, and then I'll drive us both down to Florida. And Tiffany,
road trip.
Yeah. We'll all just have a girls' week of fishing.
That would be awesome.
I wanted to. I was bouncing this idea off with a couple of people. Have a girls' night, Sunday Night Live, having like 4 YouTubers in here. Each of us have a little square. Cool. We'll be like the Brady Bunch on here. I think that would be a lot of fun, getting a bunch of girls in here, and I think that would be really cool.
Sounds good.
You'll definitely have to tell me how to steer clear of the gators when I head that way. Yeah, I've got that covered.
There you go.
Someone said, Heather said we need an all-female crew. There we go.
Definitely.
EM said, swing by here too. I'll jump in. That would be a lot of fun if we could do just a big. There needs to be just a YouTube meetup, like a big YouTube meetup for the East Coast.
That'd actually be fun.
I think that would be maybe a 3-day or 2-day weekend. One weekend, all meet somewhere for a mini vacation and just fish and talk about YouTube. And yep. I might be emailing some folks after this. Maybe we can figure out a central location and get a lot of folks together and do a huge meetup. Maybe like 20,
that sounds like 20 a good plan.
That would be a lot of fun, I think. All right, we are an hour in. We made it. All right, folks, if you guys do not have any more questions for me, first, remember sending your pictures for Catch of the Week. Every Sunday you get featured on the live show and on the Wednesday special. Also, remember the Trash Collectors Tournament is going on until the very end of July. We are probably over 500 pounds right now, which is fantastic, and the Wyatt Life said they picked up 200 pounds today. They're going to be hard to beat for first place right now. Keep that in mind. First place is like $700 worth of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it's huge. I think that's it. I will catch all of you later. Go ahead and sign off, Ola.
Thanks so much for having me on.